Hello to all of the world out there. Live right now. Info Entertainment Reviews. This is your IR YouTube channel, you guys. Bringing you information, bringing you entertainment, and as well reviews. Never know what I may bring, but certainly indeed stuff you will enjoy. Every day I do earthquake updating, bring you guys your latest forecast. And now, lately, with what has been going on globally, Mother Earth has been packing, just as I have been saying for as long as I've been doing these updates. The last, I will say, 5-6 months have been truly amazing because of how much these earthquakes have just skyrocketed in the numbers. October nailed it with the amount of earthquake activity. Unbelievable. Where we're hitting almost 6,000 earthquakes in 1 month? That was a massive number of earthquake activity. Now, again, lots of love to everybody. And those who are watching, thank you so much. You will be seeing me live so much more. Not with just earthquake updates, but I certainly do have some great gameplay to bring you guys. Now take a look here. Something I want to show you guys. You are looking at the latest earthquake activity, most recent. I'm going to do a quick refresh, checking for new data. This is just one of them. There's 3 new earthquakes found, and 8 of them were just updated. So it's going to be interesting. All of these lines that you guys see right here, this is all of Mother Earth's tectonic plate system. Let's cruise around. Now we could get a great idea of what I'm talking about. Especially for those who are new to my live broadcasting here on YouTube and for any entertainment reviews, excuse me. So, for quite some time, you guys, especially over the past 4 or 5 months, I talk about this over and over and over. Now, if I do happen to crack out on the quality of the audio, I do apologize. I am still trying to get that situated. It's through who I am using for this broadcast. But anyhow, continuing on, take a look over here. Now, this is what I said a long time ago, and now I say a lot more because ever since I've been telling you guys about these earthquakes, and when we get a big magnitude, and then I say when they're going to spread and hit possibly a certain area, I have been hitting it right on the money. This has always been my concern. Zooming over here, now we all know that New Zealand had a really bad situation just not long ago. Well, guess what? I said this the day that it happened, when they got struck with that massive earthquake. It was not gonna stop, and it ain't gonna stop. New Zealand became the next California in that perspective. Ever since, with the plates, it was believed 125 miles, and plus you get a little extra on top of that, could be more. You guys gonna always give it a extra little bit extra, and the reason why I say that, because we all know about the magnitudes when we get them. So the moment you see a magnitude, just keep your eye out, because it just might change. And we all know why those get changed for. Unbelievable. So take a look at New Zealand, you guys. I said it wasn't going to stop. I said it's not going to be over, and it's continuing on. Now take a look over here. We're sitting at a 1.9, falling by a 1.5. Then you have a 3.5 magnitude. I told everybody, if this keeps going the way it's gonna go, there's not gonna possibly be in existence. I'm not saying this again. Like I said, you guys, to spook nobody. Please don't take me the wrong way. I tell you guys for awareness. And this is a big problem. Here's a 2.6. And then falling right next to it, there's a 2.3. But here is where the problem gets worse. From Hanmer Springs, New Zealand, all the way out to Kikora, here's where it's all happening. And it's only going to spread. This fault line, those who possibly are in New Zealand right now and you guys are watching this broadcast or happen to catch this video, here's what's going on in New Zealand, you guys. This is your fault line out there. Now take a look at this. Mount Aspiring National Park. And bam, it exits right back out into the ocean. And it just travels all the way on through. Look, just want to show you that, just to give you an idea of the situation. Now take a look here, 2.9 magnitude here. But when you come over here, bam, and it cuts New Zealand right there in half. Right there in half. So this certainly is indeed continuing on, just like I said. And everything else that I have said in the past is also even happening too. They're spreading and it's getting worse. It's not going to get any better. People better start waking up and really realizing the fact that this is not a movie. This is reality, guys. Look at all the massive loads of earthquake activity through New Zealand. And guess what? Every one of these circles that you are looking at, this is all just the most recent activity that has happened. You're looking at seriously 24 hours worth. That's a lot of dang freaking earthquakes for New Zealand in 24 hours. And guess why? Don't forget about that 8.0 and the 7 point that hit all within Solomon Islands. It's causing a massive domino effect throughout the rest of the global continent tectonic plate system. Remember that, folks. When a massive earthquake at a great magnitude hits, doesn't matter if it's here in New Zealand, it don't matter if it's along the coast of California, it doesn't matter where it hits around the world. It's gonna cause a mass shockwave throughout the tectonic plates and all the way through. And then when it hits and it causes one to erupt in another area, guess what? It is going to spread, and then the other one's going to spread, and it's going to be continuous. Now, when they're hitting in the same spot over and over, those are aftershocks, and of course, more pressure and more activity buildup. But here is the problem. This part of New Zealand is now becoming an issue, and I was worried and concerned about this side as well. They weren't getting hardly nothing, ladies and gentlemen. This was a very quiet area. And now look at this. All of Northlands, you have Palmerston North, all the way on through. All the way on through. And following along the coastal areas throughout New Zealand. And why? Because the Earth's plates are moving. Before you know it, in front of all of our eyes around the world, Mother Earth, you guys, is going to reshape herself. If she doesn't, which I hate to say, and again, please, I'm just saying this as honest info and fact. Not ever would I give you guys any misleading information. I'm always giving you guys just my best advice when it comes to certain things. And especially for a situation like this. In a worst case scenario. And many of you already know about what I'm talking about, because a lot of my viewers were really seriously chilled because of another topic that I did add on to these earthquakes. We have a lot of weaponry. So if one of those were to get set off, those will set off another one, and then another one, and they're all over around the world. We all know that, and very powerful. That would wipe the planet. And on top of this earthquakes, and I always like to get people aware of this. Those of you who do not know, you now know that it's not just the earthquakes you have to worry about. It's also the concerns of something to be basically triggered and to lead to a whole nother situation. And so one thing for all of you out there to know, just always, like I said, it's good to hear people out. Some people don't like to know, some people are scared to know, and some just don't care. But those who do, you're going to be the ones who are going to be ready and are getting prepared. I told you guys, this was going to trickle down through New Zealand, and guess what? It's following all the way through. It is following all the way on through. Before you know it, New Zealand is going to be covered up all the way with earthquakes. If it doesn't actually become part of the ocean's ground sea. New Zealand can basically disappear if things keep happening the way they are. And it's not just New Zealand, you guys. I'm not talking about just one area. We have California. Also, you have Oklahoma. You got Papua New Guinea. You have Japan. You got the Philippines. Everybody is in a really bad, seriously, situation. I'm not kidding. Now this here, right here in the red, you can see where this fault also runs through. Two of them. And believe it or not, they can have it marked wrong. These two could be one massive, just one big massive fault. There's a possibility it may not just be two. This could all be just one huge, big, massive crack in the ground, covered up, hidden as showing maybe two faults. But just what if within the inside of these two, that red and yellow line, that it's just one big, massive one? Highly possible. I'm not saying it's 100%. I'm just saying highly possible. But the patterns, you guys, are following just exactly like I said. Before you know it, soon, they'll start hitting within this area and so forth and spreading out. Now look at the plates. And you zoom out and look at the pattern. Go look at my past videos. Go look at the videos I uploaded from the day when this happened. When New Zealand had that massive devastating earthquake, along with the tsunami, all the patterns have been following exactly correctly as I even mentioned. I don't predict nothing. I don't say, hey, this is going to happen tomorrow, and so forth. But I just happen to have that part of me where I'm just able to give you guys that accurately. Now, if I can't prove something as 100% fact, I mean, come on, nobody's gonna be perfect. But let me tell you guys one thing: I won't ever mislead you or give you any wrong information. Now, coming up here, I said a long time ago this was a big problem. I was concerned so much about this area because now this map is showing me some, but it's not giving me each and every single fault. Now, if you look over here, look at this piece. Right up and within through here, which is not marked, is one big, gigantic, massive crack. And then it spreads off. It's all hidden. You can see the splits in there. Take a look. If you don't see that for yourself, follow all these patterns. And these are not marked. There's a lot going on. Now this area here, the reason why I say I'm so concerned about, and you'll see it in my past videos. Go look back, you guys. Go as far back as you want. And you will see every single time that I've been even mentioning, even especially this area, if it got hit by a massive earthquake, especially if it got hit by an 8.0, if an 8.0 magnitude hit with along this whole fault area right here where that 5.0 is, which just hit 1 hour ago as of this live feed here on the broadcast of Info Entertainment Reviews. If an 8.0 magnitude hit here, this would cause a massive problem. Because why? It's a very weak spot, a very weak zone. It would seriously crush and take over all of these fault lines right here. And what I mean by that is because of how weak, again, you guys, there's so many faults that just are all over the place. And this is not even giving me each and every single one of them as the other map does. But all the way within around through Fiji and right here where that 4.4 is, there's faults. They're just scattered. It's like when you drop a plate on the ground and that plate breaks. That's what's all within through this whole area. And that's why I say if an 8.0 hit this spot, that right there is enough to seriously start pulling things apart. And then some. And then you have to worry coming up over here. Take a look at this. All through this area, ladies and gentlemen. All through here. This is another bad spot too as well. What blows me away, not to throw the subject off, now there are some hidden stuff in here that is not listed. But if you pay attention and look, you will notice for yourself. So take a look over here. Here it is, Australia. Now we all know Australia never gets earthquakes. And certainly is, in my terms of what I think, a pretty darn safe area to be. Not just a beautiful, but one of the safest places. And why? Because they never get earthquakes. Well, guess what? A lot of people don't know that in Australia, you have that massive Australian subduction zone that sits right underneath of Australia. Currently, I can't give you any details of what is going on underneath Australia. I haven't looked into those plates, but there are sources out there who do claim that the plates are starting to basically move, and they're following along with all this activity that's going on. So definitely, I'll keep an eye on that. I'll get into some information for you guys and get you updated. Now coming up through here, Indonesia, this is even more crazy. I mean, you guys could tell already. You look from where that 4.4 is, and then you take a look up over here, 5.0, and then bam, you hit over here. Look at South Korea. Now these split off in two, and it wraps right back over here this way, ripping through over here on this side. 4.5 magnitude. A couple of them, believe it or not. Take a look at this. And guess what? Right along the fault. Now where does this fault run through? You're seeing it. Splits that land right there in half. But it doesn't stop there. It continues on. Now all this load of like pushed up ocean land, that's a fault. This is something else, you guys. I've always been worried about what if Mother Earth was seriously to give us the big nasty one. And we are right around the corner from it, guys. The clock is almost going to hit 12. And unfortunately, definitely happening sooner than what it's supposed to. Way sooner. Now, everybody remembers back in 2012. I already knew nothing was going to happen. And then here goes around everybody saying, the world's going to end in 2012. The 2012 is our last days. We will all be alive. Come on, you guys. People don't get that 2012 was the beginning of one of the most disastrous times to come. 2012 was just the beginning of the clock starting at 12 before it ends on 12. So this whole spot that you're looking at here, guys, man, the sad part is when people are giving out information and there's a lot of sources that just you seriously cannot listen to from certain news and all this crazy stuff because nobody's going to give you accurate information. Why do you think it comes to us? That's why when people like us come in and do this for all of you guys out there, we do this not just for the great knowledge and having all this great interest in Mother Earth, but to bring you honest and legitimate information. Also, I want to give a quick shout out before I continue on, you guys. I knew that I was going to be in here for a little bit on the live broadcast, but I want to give a loving shout out to MoChat, Rebby, all my subscribers, each and every single one of you. I'm going to have to do like an update where basically have all your names listed up. That way I can name each and every one of you off. That is a lot of people too. But as long as you guys do know that you are supported on my channel and Entertainment Reviews, all that counts is, I appreciate all of you so much, and to just inform you guys how appreciative I am for all of you. And I thank all of you so much for subscribing, telling your friends, and staying as my subscriber. And you're not just a subscriber, you become a friend on my channel. So I really appreciate you guys a lot. And also a nice, great shout out to Dutch Sense, you guys. If you haven't seen or watched his channel, he also does earthquake forecasting. Go check his channel out. Wonderful. Now, of course, it's late in the morning. I'd like to make me some good old coffee. Certainly sounds pretty good. Now, let's get into this. 3.5 magnitude 22 hours ago, following by Iran with a 3.5. And here's Turkey. Earlier, I was broadcasting on another channel that I broadcast at Turkey has been having a lot of earthquake activity. I actually even told some of them because I had some viewers from Turkey come to my broadcast, which is really cool. I meet people from all over the world. It's amazing. So many great people around the world, you guys. Now, look at all this stuff. Now, what nobody realizes, none of you have a dang clue until when you're looking at Mother Earth from above. This right here is just one big nasty crack that runs from one end all the way through the other end. And nobody thinks about this stuff. You really have to look at Mother Earth to really pay attention to certain things. Take a look at this. Yeah. Many of you might just think, oh, it's just water. Well, guess what? Think again. That is not just water, folks. That's just water sitting all up and through, covering it up. And it looks certainly a lot different when you're looking at it from above the ground, especially those who are living within Turkey. This is massive. Now take a look here. A 2.1 11 hours ago struck, and guess where it hit? Right here within this area. Now, so far, I guess I must have been the only one who has. This is like the second time that I've zoomed in and started talking about this stuff, you guys. People better start waking up. This would be really spooky if this whole part started to literally come apart. That is really, really freaking creepy. And I mean, look how far this thing travels. It goes all over the place. Arizona too. Arizona's got a really nasty spot. Like when you look at the Grand Canyon from above, might be beautiful when you're on ground, but the sight from above is not pretty a sight. All it is just one big freaking gigantic hole in earth, split right in half, and it travels distances. Here you go, you guys. One huge, big, massive split. Something I wanted to bring to your attention. I don't want to stay on this too long, but you get the idea of what I'm talking about now. So all this here is just one big, gigantic, massive split. Wow. And also, take a look. Take a look at that. I bet some of you are probably like, holy moly, I never thought of that. Never thought of looking at this. Well, because, you guys, not many people pay attention to this stuff. When you look at stuff from above Earth, holy cow, let me tell you one thing. You will notice stuff that you just never seen before on ground. Now you have a 3.8 here. You have a following up by with a 2.4. And then coming through here, you have a 1.8. This is a lot of earthquake activity. Now take a look here. 35 minutes ago. Falling right here, 1.6. And there's that 1.8. Also a 3.0. And you guys, Turkey is going to be rocking soon. Now, over here, where my concern is at, the spread of it, I think this area right here should have possibly marked, but I'm not guaranteeing it, right within here of a fault. Certainly does look. But anyhow, everybody who is out there in Greece, especially you folks out there in Turkey, all within this area surrounding, and you have Italy. Guys, please get ready. The word needs to get out. People need to start getting ready. Italy has had enough damage and devastation. Unfortunately, it's not over. And the way you look at these patterns, is what I love about this. Now, me and Dutchton certainly have so much just alike in common when it comes to this kind of stuff. He has his own perspective of way of how he basically knows what and when and where something's going to trigger and happen. and what possibly magnitudes. Now, in my form, in my way of how I look at it, this is how I am able to tell you guys, hey, this could happen within the coming couple days or the coming couple of weeks. It might hit this magnitude. It might hit that magnitude. So what I do, I pay attention to this patterns. I watch really close to the pattern activity. And like, take a look here. And now I zoom out and take a look at this. The patterns are covering almost like a circle form between Turkey and Greece. And it's going to continue to spread. And same along with the rest of this whole fault line system. I call it a fault line system just because it's just one big, huge, massive crack in Mother Earth that's basically being held together like a magnet, if you put it in that kind of perspective way. Now over here, Portugal, they're all getting earthquakes, especially between Morocco. And then take a look here on the fault line right itself. Unbelievable. 1.8 magnitude, which was 2 hours ago. And a massive amount hitting right over here. Take a look at this. For an area that doesn't get them. And now they are. You guys, just like I said, even after that 8.0, it was going to trigger and cause a massive domino effect. And not just hitting in one spot, because one spot over and over is an aftershock. The widespread of continuous earthquakes and spreading further, that's what I call a domino effect. It's like putting a bunch of dominoes down, you knock them down, and you just follow them go all the way down. And bam. That's what's happening here. So unbelievable, you guys. Unbelievable. Don't forget Iceland. This is insane too. As you can see here, 2.4s and following by 2.7s. Loads of activity. Loads. Now let me zoom out. Oh, before I forget too. Before I forget to mention. The North Pole, ladies and gentlemen, also had an earthquake as well. I said it a long time ago, and it's happening again. Now let me do a quick update real quick. 28 earthquakes found, brand new earthquakes, just recently. As a matter of fact, this is the same one, but it looks like over here we have a few new earthquakes. Now look at this massive amount of earthquake activity. Tons and tons of activities, you guys. This is all going to cause the earth continuing to go. 5.0 magnitude 1 hour ago, following by 5.8, which more likely was a 6.0 magnitude, not a 5.8. Another 5.8, following by a 4.8, probably a 4.9 to a 5.0. This is indeed a 5.0, it's not a 4.9. Here's a 4.6, 5.3, and take a look here, a 6.8 magnitude earthquake. If this is not telling you know nothing, if this is not getting through anybody, boy, I don't know what else anyway to describe to get people seriously ready and to wake up and get ready for what's coming. And take a look at all this ruckus. You got that 4, you have a 5.3, and then you have a 5.2, following over here by another 5.2, 5.3. I mean, you guys, this is really getting nuts. And guess what? Yes, Solomon Islands. This is a bad spot right here. And definitely I will be monitoring this throughout the day. Covered in earthquakes. when it spreads from here, from this spot, it's gonna travel. I know it's all gonna connect, or maybe they won't connect if the whole rest of the state system separates. It'll just pull apart. Really act up. It just shows you how powerful Mother Nature is. And with all the testing that's been done from over the years, everybody should know. If you don't know, you're gonna know right now. Nevada alone, by Nevada itself, has done over right under 2,000 nuclear tests. Go look it up. I even have a video here on my channel talking about that. That has a lot to do with what's been going on for our future. And then with technology and playing around with Mother Earth, they're not just putting us at risk, but they're putting their own selves at risk too, and they don't even know it. The Philippines, same thing, you guys. All the way on through. Keeps happening the way it is. All I can say is that there ain't going to be nothing existing on the map, especially within these areas. I mean, you have the south, you have the Sea of Japan, following the same pattern. Take a look at this, 5.2, following by multiple loads. I mean, you guys, definitely eerie. Now, if you guys notice, take a look at here. Here's another spot, and you look in the CO. Bam! Guess what it is? Yes, it's exactly what you're looking at. And boy, this baby wraps all the way on through. And then it hides right when after here. Bam, you don't see any more of the cracks in the grounds. So, whatever else is under here, something's under there. These plates are scattered throughout all over the world, you guys. They're not just along the coastlines. They are inside within the ocean lines. That's a lot of earthquake activity just for this area. This one, when I popped this article up, I was reading on this earlier. We already had enough devastation with Fukushima. They cannot afford another one. I'll just tell you that right now. So what is going to finish this planet off? Could it be everything at once? Or could it be one or the either? Only time will tell. But when that clock hits 12, you guys, which it's almost there, Mother Earth is going to certainly do a lot of reshaping. So again, I didn't expect to do such a long live broadcast. Amazing though, I'm glad I did. Just to take my time, show you step by step just what I'm going, as far as what I mean, excuse me. But also, you know exactly about pretty much what I'll be talking about the next day. When I say, hey, for example, Hawaii, look at this, 2.9s. And they've been getting a lot of earthquakes too as well. So say Hawaii had a 4.0, for example. Then, with the way things are going, I could say, hey, just where the 2.9s at. Imagine this at 4.0. But then, I could say, well, this is going to be a major problem for tomorrow as well, for Lahaina, Hawaii. I could say a 4.0 might strike there, or 3.0. You just don't know. But the main problem with Hawaii is this island right there. And here we are with California. Now, pattern following all the way on through, continuing. Tons and tons, you guys. Boy, I didn't expect to be on here this long with this. Here's Matagua. Take a look at this. 3.2, 3.2, and falling all the way through this whole mess, scattered with earthquakes. Now, I wonder, can I do the cluster on this one? Now, what the cluster does, it actually kind of cleans things up, puts them in a numbers, and it tells you how many earthquakes in that one area have been hitting. Really cool. That is on the other earthquake map. I have a couple of them. But here's the other problem coming to the west coast. Now take a look at California. Okay. All the way through here. Now don't pay attention to Arizona. We're going to get to that here in a second. And definitely something to break off to you guys. San Diego. All this whole area. Like I said. It's going to rip apart. I know everybody's been saying this for the longest time. And people are like, oh no. That's what they said a long time ago. Well, guess what? That was a long time ago, you guys. And everybody always has to believe all the stuff that goes on, especially all the BS. Now, I knew at that time that wasn't its time, basically. And gosh, people are so tired. They just figured, whatever, it's just an earthquake. You won't be saying that when that moment comes, which could be any day. Nobody cares. So you guys really take in consideration to start getting prepared, all of you who live along the west coast. Don't get caught with your pants down wishing that you should have, could have. Now take a look here. You have all over San Francisco is ripping up with a lot of massive amount of activity. Look at this. Even though they're smaller quakes, but it's active. They're getting very active, and look where it's located. Over and over and over. Look at this. 1 hour ago. Geysers, California, as always. Oh, and did I forget to mention? Now, I believe. Now, my friend MoChat. We talked about this a couple times. And what I'm looking at right now, I believe, is what I think it is. A wider spread, and it all the freaking time. Now this is gonna when Mo sees this every single time, oh my gosh, wow, every time when something strikes over here. It's not funny, but what kicks me, I get kicks out of it because it's always happening within this spot. Well, guess what it is. Exactly. That's exactly what it is. Yes. Look at that massive amount of piping running on through. Let's go ahead and pump it all up in Earth's grounds, you guys. Whew, boy. I figured. I knew it. Gosh darn it. So there you are. And as I zoom out, look how far this actually spreads out, which I did not notice before. Wow, unbelievable. That is just one huge, massive amount of land of frack. Wow, unbelievable. Boy, you guys. Now this, I did not notice how far back that this traveled. And that's why I love this map. It's actually better than the other. Now when I was doing the other updates, because MoChat also does updates, you guys, and brings you your forecast. And a lot more great information. You have to go check her channel out. But this right here, every time when it hits right here, bam. And what caught my attention was because I call these bald spots. It's pretty funny, but that's what I call them. They stand. So that swarm of earthquakes right there, that's following a complete whole area of nothing but just pumping in the grounds. And you know what? It ain't helping California when especially ripping right near through, getting all that fluid pushed right up into the grounds and right along through the fault. Unbelievable. So there it is, right here. We got from Black Oaks and all the way on through. Look at, you can see it. Holy moly, 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 you guys. That is a massive, massive amount of you know what being shoved into the ground. All those areas you're seeing. And what also is this. So a lot of you who live along within through the West Coast better wake on up. All this big old huge cracks in the ground, you guys, can go right up into the coast and into the land. Certainly amazing. Now again, you guys, I didn't expect to do a live broadcast this far in. I was trying to make this one quick, but like I said, hey, live broadcasting. I'm here to at least give you great information and also where you can just enjoy yourselves and really be blown away because again, like I said, you just don't know. Like for example, I didn't expect to zoom into that ocean part to show you guys. It wasn't on topic. It just goes and comes along as we go along with the earthquake updating. So zoom on in, I mean out, excuse me, and look at the patterns. Each and every single pattern. Now let's go to, let's say, let's update this. And let me give you guys a 7-day forecast. Just so you can see with your own eyes. Bada bang, bada boom. And here this is for you. So, 7 days, baby. So far, we're looking at 1,000. There's a total of 1,379 earthquakes and plus with 23 reports on top. And as I mentioned, South America, that it will continue to spread out. And guess what? Look at this, you guys. Here it is. Literally one end all the way into the other. And here is my other main concern is this over here. You have this quake, 4.6. You have this quake, 4.5. And then you also have this one, the 4.6 right there also. That is enough right there to go ahead and finish off spreading out through there in that main fault line system. And bam. It's spreading, ladies and gentlemen. It's getting insane. Well, it looks like we got Connor sent a little message. Hello, Connor. I don't know if you can know that I'm doing the live broadcast, but if you do, come join me. Again, you guys, I didn't know I was going into overtime on this, but my gosh, man, if this doesn't show you guys enough, go watch my past videos from back then. And boy, it's following each and every single pattern. It's all connecting. And of course, I don't like to be negative when it comes to anything, you guys. I try not to be at all whatsoever. I just try to give you my true, honest words of fact, you know. I just try to wake people up, let you know what the heck is going on. Australia, when was this one? 7 days ago, 3.2 magnitude struck Australia. How the heck did I not get that? Why? Because I haven't been bringing any earthquake updates in that time. I really missed out on a lot on bringing you guys all my forecasting of earthquakes. So there it is. 7 days ago, 3.2 in Australia. And yes, Australia does sit underneath the Australian subduction zone, which is massive. So here's the patterns, and take a look. They're following, they're connecting. You cannot say I didn't say this before. Unreal. People seriously need to start getting ready, man. Boy. Sometimes you just hate being right. But I'd rather know myself, and I'd rather have everybody out there be aware of what is going on. It gives me the goosebumps. This very second that I'm even speaking to you guys, it gives me the goosebumps. It's like I almost kind of know what really is going to happen. And it will happen in your lifetime, and it's going to happen in my lifetime. And I'm still young. We're all going to see it. I'll just tell you that right now. That's all I'm going to say. We will all see it. And it's messed up, I know. Oklahoma, take a look at this. 6 days ago, you got that 4.0. Not a 3.9 again, because it did get dropped. 3.7 magnitude just struck 6 hours ago in Oklahoma. Probably about a 3.8 magnitude. I will definitely give that a great estimate on. Always give a couple digits above these earthquake magnitude numbers, alright? Because they're always dropped a couple once we receive them. And this is for every forecaster. And those who are not a forecaster on earthquakes, and you just happen to just go look to see what's going on, whenever you see a 2.7, a 5.0, especially like that 8.0 that did hit, and it probably could have been bigger than that 8.0, you guys. I'm not kidding. But it was dropped to, guess what? It did drop it a few digits. At 3.5, probably about a 3.7. Oh. Now, before I do it, broadcast, I hope you guys have enjoyed everything. Now, why is Arizona not on the list? Since we are looking at a full 7 days, it should be popping up. So let me go ahead and go back one. And we'll go back to today's earthquakes. I want you guys to see this. There we go. Actually, let's give it all of it. Let's go ahead and do from all magnitudes. And there's Arizona right there. Now, I got a friend who lives in Texas, believe it or not. And, because Texas don't get earthquakes. Texas got shooken up a little bit because of the earthquake that hit over in Oklahoma, ladies and gentlemen, with their 5+ magnitude earthquake. Wow. Now, a long time ago, Arizona and Tucson felt Oklahoma's earthquake. So, I'm pretty sure Texas actually felt something at that time. But just the other day, Texas got shooken up a little bit because of the earthquake that hit Oklahoma. And of course, you're not going to see the magnitude that hit there because it's not there. They cleared it up. So here's Arizona. I want you guys to know something. Anybody who lives in Arizona, which I just found out, I didn't know. Now, Arizona has a lot of volcanoes, and Arizona does have quite a bit of few of tiny faults. Well, this one is not tiny. This got hit here in the valley. This was yesterday. Now, you see the whole city of Phoenix. I am west of the area, so I'm not too far. And here's where that earthquake hit. Ladies and gentlemen, this was a 2.8 magnitude, which struck 12 hours ago. And it wasn't on the news, was not talked about, was not mentioned. They did not talk about it at all. So take a look here. All of Phoenix. First time I've seen an earthquake hit. What I was showing you guys earlier. Take a look at this. That's some big freaking cracks in Arizona. Pretty spooky when you're looking at it from above ground, ain't it? Boy, oh boy. So anyhow, what I'm meaning is that the fault that sits right up under through here, this hit right on the shallow part of the fault system. And that fault line runs all through Arizona. I'm going to zoom out a little bit more for you. You can see right about where that A ends. I have to pull up the actual fault map, which I'll do later today and show you. But that fault line actually connects and runs all the way up towards the New Madrid fault system. Do you guys have any clue how massive that is? I never knew. And holy cow, that is freaking scary. So from here, going this way, cutting through Texas, through Dallas, in between Oklahoma. You have all the way between Missouri, Mississippi, Tennessee, all that whole area. Guess what? That's how far that baby rose, you guys. And I did not know that. I did not know that. So here's the thing. I always knew if something happened between Oklahoma, I always knew it would trigger the New Madrid fault line because it's not too far away. And if the New Madrid fault line was to just say, rip right open, well, guess what? You might as well cut Texas, part of it, in half, if not most of it. And all the way on through, cutting through Arizona into the California fault lines system. And then to set that off, I'll tell you one thing. So much for beachfront property in Arizona. And possibly Texas. So knowing now that there's a fault system that connects, and it does run up north. It does go northbound. Unbelievable. It's crazy. I didn't know that until just not too long ago, just recently. So it goes northbound, and it goes southbound, following all the way on through here, ripping right on through, you guys. Follows all the way through Texas, cutting between Oklahoma, all the way up through here. Wow. Now, if that doesn't send you a shockwave of your own. So, friends, this is Info Entertainment Reviews. Lots of love to everybody. Heads up high, feet grounded, love, live, and smile. Hope you all had a great time. I certainly went into overtime on this one. Way overtime. So you guys have a beautiful day. I will see you later on.